So again, thanks so much for joining me to kind of talk about sustainability in signage and printing. So we just celebrated Earth Day, right? So sustainability and eco-friendly practices are kind of hot topics right now. And so what are a few simple tweaks print and sign shops can make to their business practices to be more green?
Yeah, that's a great way to start, and that's what we're trying to get out there in terms of is really the mindset that we're seeking from our partners downstream. But really, I think a lot of it revolves around material selection, just looking at the types of materials they are using and making sure they are making good sustainable choices. And really for us, it's about PVC. That's a material that is a great product for the signage market, but it's gotten a little bit of a bad name, if you will, just viewed as maybe a material that's not typically recycled. And what we're trying to do is make sure that everybody's aware that these small changes, how you specify, how you use these materials, can make a big difference. And then also at the either in process or end of life, if you're taking scrap or signs that you're taking down at a store or something like that, you can then have the ability to recycle that product, and maybe you don't even know that today. So that's really just the material selection piece. I mean, they are the specifiers. They're working directly with their customers on the look, feel, and everything that goes into that sign, and just making sure that they're making good choices when it comes to materials.
Yeah, definitely. And so kind of talking about the customer a little bit, what are you hearing from your customers about end users and kind of their interest in eco printing practices and materials?
Yeah, it's definitely increasing in terms of what customers are, telling us in terms of their views on sustainability and their downstream, customers and what they're looking for. It's definitely picking up. I think even before the pandemic, it was accelerating. Some of the big brands out there, large retailers, they are really focused on sustainability and circular economy, and making sure they're doing everything they possibly can to recycle and be good sustainable stewards of the environment. So they really are asking their suppliers for solutions to help them try to improve their sustainability footprint. And basically, we're hearing that more and more, that's becoming not just a nice to have, it's a strong requirement now in terms of when they are going out and bidding jobs and designing new signage, and really taking those things into account in terms of overall sustainability of the materials and the solution.
Definitely. And so you kind of spoke about a little bit about your PVC product. So, and can you tell me about your recycling program that you have going on and what the response has been from that?
Sure, happy to. And really, I think I wanted to kind of make sure there's two ideas when it comes to our recycling program, which is what we're trying to get out there in the market. One is just mindset, and just these are materials that traditionally have not had a good end of life or recycling story, and so it's really we're out there trying to change minds, really, in terms of making sure everybody's aware of what these materials are, how it works, the applications that we can take that material back and put it into. So that's where we're starting, and really it's about getting out in the market, educating them about our abilities. Vycom is part of the AZEC company, and so that gives us a huge opportunity where AZEC is seeking out more and more recycled materials across all of our product lines, but especially in our building products lines. And that's really kind of the piece that makes us very unique in this process, because not only do we manufacture PVC sheets for the signage market, we also manufacture outdoor trim, decking materials, and all of these materials can use higher recycling content. And so what we'll do is we'll take this material back, and that's when we start working with PSPs, end users, retailers, anybody that's got any type of PVC or acrylic signage. We can also use acrylic in our products as well. And then what we'll do is we'll just educate them about the programs, make sure they're collecting their scrap, they're segregating it, because if you intermix polymers, that's not a good thing for us. We need to make sure that it's a single polymer type of material, whether it's PVC or the acrylic materials, polyethylene, any of the stuff that we have the ability to recycle into our products. And then we will ask them to store it. Once you reach a certain amount, we can go pick up the materials. We have a sister company called Return Polymers that ends up doing a lot of the logistics for us and reprocessing. So they'll go pick up the scrap material, bring it back to our recycling dedicated, company-owned recycling facilities. And then we will basically take that material, break it down, and mechanically recycle it back into our products. So that's really in a nutshell. It's not so different than your typical curbside, although in this case, we're asking our customers to segregate it because that makes it much easier. And also, we're also having some channel partners that might help us, become repositories for this material, because you can imagine a sign shop may only have the ability to generate, maybe a couple 100 pounds of scrap. Well, that's a lot to them. It's not a lot for us in terms of how much we're looking to use. So what we'll do is we'll also have some of our partners through distribution act as, in some cases, consolidators for that material. And then it makes it a lot easier from us from a logistics standpoint to pick it up.
I see. I see. This is great. So it's basically a closed loop, right? Like you're providing the materials, getting them back, reusing them. So do shops just sign up, or is this open to anybody? Is it just your customers? What does that look like?
It's open to anybody, and as long as it's good good material. In some cases we may want to take a sample just to make sure it is the appropriate material that we believe it is. But anything that we have, any customers that have the ability to generate this or use PVC, it's open. We're just asking them if they're not generating a lot. I mean, there's some locations that use a huge amount of material. In that case, they might be able to store on site. We've got customers that do that, and just when they have half a truck or a full truckload of material, we'll go right in directly and pick it up. Then there's kind of the small to medium sized shops that may not generate as much, and that's when we typically get a distribution partner involved that's also servicing that, whether it's a different type of distributor. And then we will ask them to hold the material and maybe consolidate from a few of their customers, PSPs or some other type of end user. And then once they get to critical mass, then we'll be able to pick it up. So the logistics challenge is probably one of the biggest ones. In addition to the mindset that I alluded to earlier, just educating the market about these opportunities. The logistics is the other piece that we're really building out, and that's really come a long way. We've identified, kind of main areas, that use these materials, and it also rolls into our building product side of the business. So we're focused on, sign shops and the signage market in general. But we also have other users of PVC in the building products industry doing, vinyl siding, doing outdoor trim. And so we're doing the same type of program in that side of our business as well. And so now you collectively can put together a few different things in different market spaces, but with the same end goal to try to recapture those materials, use them in our products, and keep them out of landfills.